What's good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're here with another deck list, deck profile, deck update, and this is my Magic Cylinder deck for August 2025. We have done some previous hits on this, but this is the newest and improved. Moving into it, obviously we'll start with the monsters. There's no Magic Cylinder monsters, but there is some stuff that works very saucily with them. So, we have 3 of the Labyrinth Archfiend, and what's he do? We'll show you. He gains 400 attack for each normal trap with a different name in your graveyard. Your opponent's monsters cannot target Fiend monsters for attacks except Labyrinth Archfiend, and you can only use each of the following effects of Labyrinth Archfiend once per turn. If a trap card is activated except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is special summoned, you can set one normal trap from your deck that can only be activated when an attack is declared. So, Magic Cylinder. So he's a great way to line that up, of course. Moving on, this was kind of a viewer suggestion to move into more of the Labyrinthy cards, and this is the only copy of it I had, but I'd recommend maybe bringing this up. It is the Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle at 1. And while you control a set card, your opponent cannot target this card with effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can only use each of the following effects of Lady Labyrinth once per turn. If a Labyrinth card or effect or a normal trap card was activated this turn, except from your hand and, except Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position, and when a normal trap card is activated, quick effect, you can set one normal trap with a different name directly from your deck. So more lining up of Magic Cylinder, or possibly other cards to work with it, other normal traps. Moving up, we got the Labyrinth Coup Clock, also at 1, and they're all fiends, which is pretty good. Quick effect, you can discard this card. This turn, you can activate one normal trap card that was set this turn. If you control a Labyrinth monster, if a cards is sent from your deck, from your hand to the graveyard to activate your normal trap card or your Labyrinth card or effect, except Labyrinth Coup Clock, while this card is in your graveyard during the damage step, you can add this card to your hand or special summon it. So it's a little bit of extra Labyrinth sauce that kind of works adjacently with them. Like I said, I'd maybe switch that out for a Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. We still do have the Marshmallons in there. I just love this card. And we do need some kind of stally power just in case you're not on exactly what you need. And we're still working with the ratios and such. But Marshmallon, after damage calculation, if this card was attacked and was face down at the start of the damage step, the attacking player takes 1,000 damage, and it can't be destroyed by battle. So it can be a little sauce piece for holding out hardcore. Same with Battle Fader. Your field's clear, but you maybe don't have any Magic Cylinders on it. You can skip to the next turn and start to work from there. Very saucy. Moving on, we got a bunch of Kaijus. And why do we have them? Because we want our opponent to be attacking us. And we want that attack to be relatively big with one swing. And this way we can also get rid of their maybe powerful monsters that maybe can't be targeted or, have different sauce affecting what we're trying to do. So I won't go into too much of their effects other than you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field and attack position by attributing one monster they control. So that's basically the sauce. Most people know what's up with the Kaijus. Like I said, I recommend bigger attack, but we do have some smaller ones, and you never know if you're maybe working with some strats that require some smaller attack and maybe just multiple attacks. So like I said, just more Kaijus. This one's got 28, 24, and 22. I'd probably just bring them all up to Kaijus that are the highest attack you can get, but we just have a good stack of them. Moving into the spells, we only have one spell, times 3, but it's the same spell, like I said, and it is Fiend Sanctuary. And this card is just an absolute beast, one, because it's a fiend, so it kind of works with some of their sauce of the Labyrinth stuff, but it is special summon 1 Metal Fiend token, Fiend Dark level 1, well, I guess the token's a fiend, you know what I mean. 0 attack, 0 defense. It cannot attack your opponent. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving it, and once per turn, during your standby phase, pay 1,000 life points or destroy this token. So it's a great way to basically have another magic cylinder on the field that is also kind of a monster and works with our Labyrinthy plays and some of those more fiend tech stuff. So it's just another opportunity to make them take that damage. It's another monster on the field, another layer of protection. You could always get him out there, keep him out there, and if he gets destroyed, then you use your magic cylinders, you know what I mean? Or you can use your magic cylinders to protect him. It depends kind of which ways you're taking it. Moving to the actual magic cylinders themselves, the traps, we have 3, and they are a normal trap, so it's a beautiful sauce. It, of course, is negate the attack of one of your opponent's monsters and inflict damage equal to the attacking monster's attack to your life points. So it can work out great, even generically. Sometimes people are just bringing out huge attack monsters, just 1 or maybe 2 monsters that have enough attack to take you out. And if you're reversing that on them and using some of the other tech, you can possibly end it quick. We'll move these spells here, I guess. Next, we have Magical Cylinders. Beautiful card because it just works obviously directly with your magic cylinder. It is set 1 magic cylinder directly from your deck or graveyard. If set from the deck, it can be activated this turn. When you activate magic cylinder, you can banish this card from your graveyard and double that damage inflicted to your opponent. And you can only use the effect of magical cylinders once per turn. So just because you can use these once per turn doesn't mean you can't use magical cylinder more than once per turn. And of course, you could set this up hardcore with some of the other stuff we have, so you're basically always popping this play off, or at least always trying to. Moving on, we got 3 Yang Zing Unleashed. What is the point of this card? Of course, it's not a normal trap, but it is kind of decent for what it does, and I'm sure there is other options, and we do have one of them in the deck, but it is all monsters your opponent controls must attack if able, and during either player's main phase or battle phase, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard. So you can basically shut down the effect. The rest of it's not really important, but you can basically shut down the effect whenever you want if you needed to. But it's great because you're just forcing them to attack. So you can maybe hit one of their monsters with a Kaiju. Now you got something big, and then you can make them hit that magical cylinder. You can force them into it, even if they know it's coming. So it's a great also just backup alternative. Say maybe you win game 1, just magical cylindering, and you don't need to use this. Then you can bring this out as a surprise kind of wave 2, because they might be building their field but not attacking because they know what might be coming. So it's a great secondary kind of hit to get someone on that round 2. Next, we got 3 Trap Trick. Obviously, this works great. It is banish 1 normal trap from your deck, except Trap Trick, and if you do, set 1 card with the same name directly from your deck. It can be activated this turn. You can only activate 1 trap card for the rest of this turn after this card resolves. So this can be great for lining up magical cylinders, magical cylinder, I guess, in itself, or just other cards that are normal traps. Great potential here, of course. And just because it's that 1 turn, only 1 on that 1 turn, doesn't mean you can't wait till the next turn to really pop off, especially if you're hitting some kind of Labyrinth sauce to activate Trap Trick itself. Moving on, we got 2 Fair Welcome Labyrinth. Amazing card here. When a monster declares an attack while you control a fiend monster, target 1 card on the field, negate the attack, and if you do, destroy that targeted card. Then you can set 1 non-Labyrinth normal trap from your hand or deck. So this is great because we can use it with our Fiend Sanctuary. Say maybe they're attacking into it with a little baby, something low attack, 400 maybe, let's say. And we don't want that to pop off. We're going to activate this. We're going to, since he's a fiend, it works. We're going to negate that attack, get rid of their maybe little baby monster, so they're forced to attack with that big monster. And then we could also maybe target, since it's just a card on the field, we're maybe popping one of their spells or traps as well. Maybe another monster, that has lower attack. And then we're also getting a non-Labyrinth normal trap, so from hand to deck. So Magic Cylinder, Trap Trick. There's so many ways to just keep spamming off, and the cards really do work together well with that Fiend Sanctuary, being a fiend and just tapping into that Labyrinth plays. There's some good cross-play there. A great generic trap here, compulsory activation device. Target one monster on the field, return that target to hand. Great little normal trap, and we threw in 2 just specifically so we can hit it with a trap trick if need be. Same with Mirror Force. I'm not going to explain it. You should know what Mirror Force does. But we do have 2 for that same trap trick idea. Now we also have Trap Tracks. Target one monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, set 1 normal trap directly from your deck, except Trap Tracks. It can be activated this turn, and you can only activate 1 trap card for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. So it's basically another trap trick, but with a little bit of more give to it with getting rid of a monster, which is okay because we maybe have a Fiend Sanctuary and willing to get rid of. It's just kind of a different option. Next, we threw in Boo Boo Game, another card. A lot of these you could take up or take down or kind of work with. And of course, I'm always open to suggestions. All these decks are work in progress, you know, no deck's ever done. But this is during damage calculation. If a monster battles, you take no damage from that battle. And if this set card in its owner's control is destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target up to 2 normal traps in your graveyard, except Boo Boo Game, and set them to your field. They can be activated this turn. And you can only use the effect of Boo Boo Game once per turn. This effect, sorry. But it's a great sauce because you can obviously use it kind of as a mini Wabaku, I guess. Or you can, you know, wait for it to be destroyed. And it could be great to be taken up just to have other cards that are similar idea that are just waiting to be destroyed. Because once they learn your Magic Cylinder sauce, they're probably going to try and start popping your back row more. So if you have cards that kind of hit them for popping your back row, then you got them in this loop of, should I pop it, should I not pop it? It might be the Magic Cylinder, it might be me wasting a pop on something that basically just gives them effects, you know what I mean? So you can start to ratio that out and see how that works. Next, another viewer suggestion, Starlight Road, and I think this is a great idea for the deck. I was going to take it up to 2, and I'm sure I have more copies of it somewhere, just probably in another deck. But it is a normal trap, and when a card or effect is activated that would destroy 2 or more cards you control, negate the effect, and if you do destroy that card, then special summon 1 Stardust Dragon from your extra deck. So of course we threw in some Stardusts to take advantage of that effect, why not? And we could even just use them as fodder for whatever, you know what I mean? But when it's a card or a card effect that's going to destroy 2 or more, you're probably going to have 2 or more with all the traps and spell sauce that we got going. And then, you know, just maybe some monsters as well. So it's a great protection piece. And then some extra pop-offage. Similar to Yang Zing Unleashed, we have 1 all-out attacks. And this is kind of a different option. Of course, it depends how you're running the deck and how you kind of want to get plays done. And how you see things working. But it is, if a monster is special summoned while this card is face up on the field, change that monster to face up attack position and must attack if able during the turn they are special summoned. So it basically forces them to attack. But the problem is this may also force you to attack. So you might have to work with some of the sauce and see what works well. I do kind of go with Yang Zing Unleashed just because you have the option to get rid of it, which works real well if you're just, maybe you have a second copy and you want to clear your field to use something else, or you know, you're filled up. Lots of different options for that, and I'm open to, like I said, lots of viewer suggestions. They help pop these decks off for sure. For the extra deck, we just threw in 2 Stardust. Just butcher it. But like I said, I would have probably threw in an extra Starlight Road if I could have found it. But it is good just to have 2. You never know when you might need a second one. But great sauce, you can contribute this card to negate the activation of a spell, trap, or effect monster's effect that destroys card on the field, and destroy that card. And if you negate an effect this way, you can special summon this card from your graveyard during the end phase. So it's a great way, of course, to go off of that Starlight Road, and then you have more protection for your Magic Cylinders and or whatever Magic Cylinder, whatever other plays you may be running. So it's a great little extender, especially when it's so easily searchable with all the different like Labyrinth tech and like Boo Boo Game and just all the different stuff we're doing to get cards, trap cards moving in and out of our hand, deck, graveyard. Lots of potential here. So like I said, if you have any suggestions for the deck, make sure to let me know. It'd be cool if they did kind of come out with like a magic cylinder dragon like they have for like Mirror Force or something along those lines that, you know, either does the same effect or is a great way to search them out and just works with it. Especially if they made it a fiend, that would just go incredibly ham. But like I said, leave me suggestions and make sure to check out our other videos. We do deck profiles constantly, either more serious stuff, gimmicky stuff, meta stuff, you know, tier 0. We're up and down the scale of deck quality in terms of how usable it is, but we like to have fun with it. And, you know, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! DIY projects. Sorry, kind of rambling, but of course, lots of different Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. And if you can, make sure to check out our membership program. A few dolans to support us, and you get some extra little, you know, features in there. And it helps to support us huge. So otherwise, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when future content and updates are coming out. And thanks for watching. Peace.